So, hi, Professor. We are Group 7. So, our project name is Analysis of CO2 emissions of cars sold in Canada. This is our final report. Yeah, next slide, please. So, this is the table of contents which we have created for the project. So, example like project team, summary, objective, charts, data validation and cleaning, Power BI dashboard, budget, deliverables. Yeah, next slide, please. So this is our team. So Ajay, Megha, Ishmit, and myself. Yeah, next slide, please. So this is the project summary. So the project analyzes CO2 emission and smog ratings of vehicles sold in Canada. The automakers progress in reducing emission over time. So we have used some tools like Python scripts and Power BI and created dashboards and identified the trends and from top to least polluting manufacturers and the fuel categories of emissions. And we have created some of the insights to support the stakeholders in adopting some practices which will promote eco-friendly policies and reduce the emissions in the automotive industry. So these are the project summary. And next is the project objective. Like we have four objectives. Like the first one is to analyze and compare CO2 emissions and smog ratings of vehicles from 2005 to 23. And then to identify top to least polluting manufacturers. The third one is like and evaluating the automakers may based on their emission, like the air emissions over time. And then we have created some insights to support the automakers to make a eco-friendly and sustainable transportations. So next slide, please. This is the timeline, like the charts. Here you can see all the task names, the start date to finish date, and all the assignation like to which task like we have assigned for, and we have created like we have finished all the task, and we can see the testing phase is completed, and we have delivered all the deliverables. Yep, next slide, please. So this is about the data set like which we have validated and cleaned. So we have identified all the missing values and removed the missing values or the rows from the data set, and we have standardized some of the data like based on the categorical. We have differentiated them based on example, for example, vehicle and fuel types and CO2 emissions as well. And we have removed some of the duplicates and outliers from the data set using some statistical methods analysis. Yeah, next slide. So you can see this is the Python script for our data cleaning. You can see we have loaded the Excel file and cleaned the vehicle class columns, fuel type columns, based like we have added some of the smog ratings to our data set to assign the values. And after adding that, we have cleaned the data set, and finally we have saved a new data set. We can see that that's what we have used for all the visualization and Power BI methods. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, thank you.
So, hello, Professor. Myself, Ishmeet Kaur. I've played the role of data analyst for this presentation, like for this whole project. And I'm going to talk about the EDA analysis and its visualizations. Next slide, please. So we started by doing univariate analysis. Basically, univariate analysis focuses on analyzing a single variable at one point of time, and it also helps to summarize and understand its distribution, central tendency, and all, and the variability, mean, median, and stuff. So to understand the basic structure and the patterns of individual variables in the data set, that's what we use the univariate. And what else we did by using like so basically, we performed univariate based on the vehicle class, fuel type, carbon emissions, and smog ratings. We use these four variables for that. Next slide, please. And these are, sorry, back last slide. So these all are the visualizations. We created bar graphs for that. That one is vehicle class distribution, the bottom one is fuel distribution, and on the right side, you can see for the smog rating and the carbon emission distributions with that. Next slide, please. Next is the bivariate analysis. So basically, why do we use it? It helps to examine the relationship between two variables. So it explores the correlations, dependencies, and interactions between the variables, and to uncover the relationships and understand how one variable is getting influenced or like interacting with the another one. So these are the variables we used for the bivariate one. So for this one, we used carbon emission versus smog ratings, cylinders versus combined fuel consumptions. And these are the visualizations for that. We use scatter plot, and on the right hand side, we use the box plot for that. Next slide, please. And these are the next two. This is between fuel type versus carbon emission, which I've added one more time. And there is one outlier which you have, which you can see at the bottom. We use the data cleaning method to remove those outliers. And the other one is the cylinders versus combined fuel consumption. And we are using the scatter plot again for this one. Next slide, please. And next is the multivariate analysis. Basically, this involves examining three or more variables to understand the complex interaction and the patterns of all the attributes of the all the columns basically. So in this we are doing four visualizations for this. First two are for the pair plot of carbon emissions, fuel consumptions, and smog ratings. Second one is for the carbon emissions, fuel consumption by vehicle class, and clustered bar plot of brand. Next slide, please. And in the last one, we are doing carbon emissions by brand, vehicles, and fuel type. And we are creating these small bar graphs based on the multivariate. Like we are comparing all three together, checking the influence of one on the another one. Next slide, please. And now I'm going to explain about the Power BI dashboard we created to present the basically we use Power BI to create interactive dashboards, which is helping to highlight some findings. For example, Bugatti was identified as the top CO2 emitter and Hyundai was identified as the least CO2 emission. So this is the attributes sheet which is showing this, which is focusing on how specific attributes like vehicle make, fuel type, engine specifications, and vehicle class influence carbon emission. And it's also providing insights into granular factors by driving emissions and enables actionable recommendations. Next slide, please. Hello, this is average emission. In this, you can see we have a chart in that you can see what we have. Sorry, Mega, but you are on mute.
I'm going to present here the average emission. In that, you can see the Bugatti have highest level of average CO2 emission, and the least one is Lexus. And the pie chart shows the percentage, like which vehicle have most and least CO2 emission in a percentage. And there are few like filters in this where we can use filters for like to see specific car emissions and for specific year. This is make model versus emission. In this, we uses heat chart for that. In that, you can see that the most emission is done by Bugatti and least one is done by Hyundai. Here, you can also use filters to see for specific year and for specific car. Well, vehicle attribute versus emission. In this, we created two bar chart, and there is one pie chart also. In that, average, we can see first bar chart is for average CO2 emission level by cylinder count. You can see the how many cylinder counts are there, and that. And the second is impact of fuel type on average CO2 emission, and the pie chart is for average CO2 emission by vehicle class. Well, this is the main part, the performance. In that, you can see which car have mostly improved in their performance and which one have least improved. Well, the Ford one has greatly improved for his emission improvement with their manufacturer, and Chevrolet has least improvement in that case. And we have also mix here uh, boxes for cars where you can click any car model and see their performances. This is our final budget. In that, you can see the planned cost and the total annual cost, total actual cost. In that, we have the planned cost was higher and the actual cost is not that much. Here are deliverables. In that, we use Python code for data processing and uploaded our codes in GitHub for future reference and reproducibility. And we have also cleaned our data set and ensured reliability for analysis and visualization. Furthermore, we have included our documents of clean steps where we cleaned our data and things like that. And we have created Power BI and dashboard to visualize our insights for CO2 emission. And we also have a detailed document which was summarized by like project phases, which and also data set and insights and some recommendation, those stuff. Here are challenges and encountered. In this, I'm just showing the challenges we have encountered, and we also how we solved that thing. First one is like there was some missing and duplicate things in our data set. So we have used Python for cleaning that thing and we have solved that by that. And second was in Power BI, we have faced some logical issues. So we have solved it by text expressions. And after that, we were not able to manage our work and study. So we have created Gantt chart to make sure we finish our scheduled things in a time. And last one is we were working asynchronously, so that was making our work delayed. So for that, we have created weekly meetings and shared our collaborative tools to ensure alignments. So here, thank you.
So I just need to make one request. One of our group mate, Ajay, he's hospitalized currently. He won't be able to present. So we will be mailing all the submissions on his behalf as well. But we can it's just a request if we can re-record for him or we can just attach his medical prescriptions. That would be better if you can suggest us something. And I would be I would be mailing you all the details. I'll be keeping you in the loop what is going on, like how long it's going to take for him to be in the hospital. And we still don't have is any medical prescription, but we have asked for it. So we'll get it super soon, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.